Hi everybody, it's Doreen, and I'm back today with the final card of the series of the African American stamps that I picked up from rubbernecker.com. This one is called Keesha. So let's get started so I can show you how I made it. Okay, let's get started with our supplies. First of all, the base of my card measures 5.5 by 8.5, and I've scored it at 4 1/4 using my score buddy. And I also have inked the edges using my Tim Holtz Distress ink, the peeled paint. So now what I need to do is add my top layer, and my top layer measures 5 1/8 by 4 1/8. And what I have done here is I've added these Martha Stewart photo corners, and it's a punch that looks like this, and I picked this up a while back on one of my hauls at Michael's, and it was actually on the clearance rack for, I believe it was $2. Oh, and I have been staying out of Michael's, so I've been doing good so far. Hopefully I'll be able to go even past 1 month. So I have the photo corners on 3 of the corners, and I'm going to go ahead and show you how you add the photo corners. When they punch out like this, and then you just fold back. And then what I do is I turn it to the other side of my paper, measure out to make sure I've got it in the right spot, and then I just take my Tombow adhesive and add some adhesive on the corner edge, and I'm going to go ahead and line this back up again, and then you just fold over. So then you have your photo corners. Now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add some ribbon, and this piece of ribbon is 5 1/8 inches wide, and it measures 6 inches. And I'm going to go ahead and use my usual cheater method and just take my tape and tape the ribbon onto my top layer. Okay, I didn't get that down the way I want it, so I'm going to take that off. And just tape that down again. Go ahead and cut this. I've got some string hanging there from the ribbon. And I'm going to go ahead and try that again. So let me measure again on the front of my top layer. I want to have it right there. I'm going to turn it over, and then I'm going to go ahead and take a piece of tape, and I think I'll lay it this way. And then just to make sure that it's down, I sometimes like to tape a layer across. Then I want to turn this over and make sure I'm going to get this lined up where I want it, which is about right there. And then I'm going to take my tape again and I'm going to go across that way, and then once across this way. And then I think we have it. And there we have it. So now I'm ready to adhere this to my card. So I just want to line it up and look at it and make sure that's where I want it. And it is. So then I'm going to take my ATG gun and go ahead and add, what I also need to do is, it looks like I have a little stickiness here, and I think it's from the adhesive from previous cards. So I just want to get that off so my paper doesn't keep sticking to that. Alright, I'm just going to move my paper up here so that won't happen. Okay, so let's continue on and go all the way around my edges, and then I'm going to put some in the middle. Okay, and now I'm going to go ahead and add this to my card. And I'm going to go ahead and lay this down. And I just want a little edge to be showing. Okay. So now we have that down. And then I'm probably going to take, let me get my glue adhesive or my pop dots, because I want to just glue that down in the middle so that that ribbon does not pop up. So I'm going to take my glue dots and my pokey tool. One of these days I will remember what the name of this thing is. And I'm just going to lay it in the center, just so I can have just that middle of the ribbon laying down flat. Okay, so now let's go ahead and we're going to talk about the image. Okay, this image is called Keesha. And once again, this is another rubbernecker.com African American stamp. And I think this one is my favorite because it kind of reminds me of my best friend. She wears her hair similar to this, and actually we both do. And when I saw this one, I just knew I had to get this for her because this looks so much like her. So let me tell you how I colored her in. For the skin, I did use my Copic markers again. And this time I did use the E35, the Shamu or Chame. And I also used the E11, which is the Barely Beige. So I used both colors. And then for the eyebrows and the nose and the eyelashes, I used my Color Soft pencil, colored pencil, and it is the black, to color those in. And then for the white parts of the eye, I used my C1, which is cool gray. And then for the lips, I did this time just only use the Yasutomo watercolor paints and made it look like she had lip gloss on. And I used, and I'm sorry for the glare, I used this color here and I mixed it with this color. And then after that, I took my dark umber colored pencil, and this is the Prisma colors, and it's dark umber, and did that around the lips. For her hair, I used the E29, which is the burnt umber, and then for the highlights in her hair, I used my colored pencil again by Prima, and I used the dark umber just to give it some highlights. And it's funny because her hair is actually the burnt umber color. The burnt umber. Her hair is that color, and my hair is also that color, but I have highlights of the dark umber in there. So we kind of have our hair similar to each other, except mine is lighter and hers is darker. So when she sees this, she's going to think it's where did I get it from, because it looks like her. Now, for above her eyes, what I did was I wanted to put some like eyeshadow on her and to make it pop up and shine. So I then once again used the Yasutomo paints, and I used this color right here for her to make it look like she had eyeshadow on. And then I also used that color for the shirt, and then I used the darker green for the bottom of the shirt and the lighter green for the top color of the shirt, of the collar. And then of course I had to add the bling. So I'm going to bring it up so you can see the shine. I really like those Yasutomo watercolor paints. They make everything just pop up and shine. So I'm going to go ahead and add her on to the card. And I've already got my foam tape on, and I did start peeling it back so it wouldn't be so hard for me to get it off. And, okay. It looks like it. I started peeling it and it just went back down on itself, so let me see if I can get this off. There, got the last one off. So I'm going to add that, or add her right here. And there she is. Okay, the other thing that I did was I made this little flower using some white satin ribbon, and I got this idea, or I learned this technique from Arlene, My Butterfly Kisses 12, and I'll put a link to the tutorial that she does to show you how to make these. And I put some bling in the middle, and actually, like I said, it was white satin ribbon, and I took and I glimmer mist it. And I think the color that I used was called Garden Fairy. And it looks like this. So I went ahead and used that. And then I added the bling. And then I took some glossy accents and ran it around the bling. And then I added some of the Martha Stewart little beads, or micro beads, and pink around the bling where I put the glossy accents. So I'm going to go ahead and I want to add this right up here. So I'm going to add it using my glue gun. And as I said before in my previous video, I bought some new glue sticks, and I've decided I do not like these new glue sticks because they have more strings. So I've even put them in the freezer and they still do that, so I don't think I'll be using these anymore. As soon as this one runs out, I'm going back to the Aleene's one. Okay, so now my last thing that I want to add is I once again used the Close to My Heart Everyday Life stamp set, and I stamped out this saying that says, "Be yourself, everyone else is taken." And I've popped it up on with some foam dots, and I also I stamped it using the Memento Black Tuxedo ink. And I inked the edges with the Tim Holtz Distress Ink, the peel paint. And I'm just going to add that right down here by my ribbon, like so. So that is it. This is the third and the last card of the series of the African American stamps that I picked up at rubbernecker.com. Thanks for watching, everybody. Bye.